baking, this is for you. I will be talking about 5 mistakes people make when they are baking. If you like this type of tutorial, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. All links will be posted in the comment box below. Baking is a science, and you have to follow some rules to make sure that your cakes come out perfect. The first mistake I'm going to talk about is the butter. When a recipe calls for creaming the butter, you have to make sure that the butter is at room temperature, and you want to mix this until the butter is soft and light and it looks really fluffy. It usually turns a very light color. Trying to mix butter that is cold will be really hard. It will take longer to mix, and a lot of people just don't mix enough. 3 minutes of mixing the butter will not be enough. Usually I go between 10 to 15 minutes, and I have even done 20. So make sure to cream your butter really well. If you're mixing butter with other fats like high ratio or even cream cheese, make sure to mix really well as well. Another common mistake is people switching between baking powder and baking soda, thinking that one or the other will act the same way. And this is not true. You have to make sure that if a recipe calls for baking soda, you have to use baking soda, or if it calls for baking powder, to use baking powder, and some recipes will ask for both. They both have different reactions when baking. It's also a good idea to make sure that the baking soda and baking powder is fresh. Another mistake that people make is not bringing the ingredients to room temperature. When at room temperature, eggs, butter, and dairy need to bond together so it creates a fluffy texture. Room temperature ingredients mix easier to form an even batter, creating a better finished texture. The next mistake is about your eggs. Some recipes will ask you to mix your eggs all together, but some recipes will tell you to add 1 egg at a time. If that's the case, make sure to follow the recipe. There is a reason for this. It turns out that the eggs get emulsified by the butter. So to help ensure that the eggs mix well with the butter, you rather want to add 1 egg at a time and make sure it's mixed really well. Once the egg is mixed, you can add your next egg. This way, you make sure that you are creating an appropriate emulsified batter. So if your recipe asks to mix all the eggs together, go ahead and do that. But if your recipe is asking you to add 1 egg at a time, make sure to do 1 egg at a time and mix well and then add the next one. Our last baking mistake will be not taking care of your pans properly. Every time you bake a cake, you need to make sure that your pan is properly prepared so it accepts the batter and it doesn't stick to your pan. No matter the option you use, if you want to use the parchment paper, if you want to use spray, or if you want to use butter and flour, or if you want to use goop, whichever the method that you like to use best, make sure to get your pans ready before you start making your batter. You don't want to end up with a broken cake because you forgot to prepare your pans. I will do another video with more mistakes that happen while baking cakes. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, visit me in Facebook, Instagram, and visit my blog. Until next time, ta-ta!